daytime. It's pie. P-A-R-T. Why? Because I gotta. P-A-R-T. Why? Because I gotta. I keep repeating myself. This is alive. This is alive. Hopefully I'll get more action than I did last night. Last night was a pretty good live. And of course I just dripped. I like this time of year because eggnog is made available. Grandma Daisy told me to tell you hello. Hello, Grandma Daisy. Grandma Daisy. I just like hearing that sometimes. Where's the picture of your mother? It's on my last live I did. Didn't you check it out? Yeah, the last live I did. Last night. You'll have to check that out later, I guess. She has laryngitis. It's been hanging on for a while. Hopefully it'll clear up. Then she'll have her voice back. There we go. I'm doing an indoors show again. I want to do one from the park. I think what I'll do is, as soon as my phone is fully charged, I'll take my phone to the park. And hopefully there's good Wi-Fi out there. Hopefully no one's flying their drones. It seems like they're making... Hey Eddie, it's time. Time for what? Time for what? Let's see. I'm going to see how I can... Community moderation. Participant mode. I guess they took away that ability to time people out. I don't see it anymore. There used to be a way you can time people out, but I guess there's some, I love you too. I love you. Yes, I do. I guess it's almost time for Thanksgiving. What do we have to be thankful for? That's what we should focus on. That and jokes. People have been telling me jokes lately. I know, I'd like to have let's have Chinese food. I'm getting a Patreon set up, and it seems to be more difficult than I thought it would be. They want you to do all kinds of things to get set up for a Patreon page. Patreon is kind of like OnlyFans. See, people pay $5 a month to be a subscriber, which I think is a good idea. At least you're making some money. YouTube seems to be, you gotta dream impossible dreams in order to make it at YouTube. Because I've been a YouTuber for years, and I haven't made a dime. I've done a lot of work. You can see my body of work over the years. Or over this past year, I've been putting a lot of effort into it. I think what it is they expect a lot of view time. I have a lot of subscribers, and I don't have much view time. View time is what they expect a lot of before you can start making money. with your mother. I'm trying to change that. I think we all need money. And the better off we are financially, the better off we are with the rest of our life. Like me, I need dental work. And it's up in the thousands. It costs thousands of dollars. Even with insurance. Even with insurance, it costs thousands of dollars. So I start to feel a bit hopeless. That's why I'm trying to set up all these, and my the the links I have links in the description of this video and all my other videos, and I need customers. And I've been saying that for a while now. I've been saying I need customers. What's funny is the only time people want to be adult is on my family shows. And when I do an adult show, hi, the king, 11 o'clock. So there are my frustrations. I guess I've gotten my... Nothing wrong with living with family. America needs to stop hating on this. I think what it is he's trying to get a response out of me. That's what trolls usually do. They try to get a, oh, by the way, hello, Brian. Hello, Brian. Nice to see you again. Nothing wrong with living with family. America needs to stop hating on this. This is what family is for. Italy, they all live together. Yes, they do. A lot of those countries, they actually take care of their elderly. Here in America, people abandon the elderly. I'm just being honest. You're also being a jerk a little bit. I don't say things like that to you. I don't talk about your living situation. I don't talk to you about your living situation. I don't know what your living situation is like. But anyways. Yeah, lay off. We'll have to find a proper punishment for Grandma's Daisy. He says he loves me every day, but he treats me, he's just so rude. He's so mean to me. I support you 100%. Yeah, with a backhand every now and again. That's not the first time you've talked about me living with my mother. Some people live with their mother because they don't want to get out and do anything. I live with my mother due to financial constraints. All right, Eddie, I can't stay long. I am gonna play Donkey Kong 64. Haven't played this game. Okay. Well, great. I'm glad you came by. It's a breath of fresh air to see my original team members or original gang members. I'm going to start making some merchandise. People who stay on. I guess that's how Patreon works. If you stay on long enough. Cool. If you stay on long enough, you start getting merchandise. And I want to make some mugs and t-shirts. And I want to cleverly design them. I want them to be something that people want to have. I'll always be OG and good ideas. Yeah, we can have some, share some ideas and see how my merch goes. Because if it's a good enough item, more people will want it, you see. And they'll tell two friends, and they'll tell two friends. See you soon. Enjoy that Donkey Kong. Dodge those barrels. Dodge the barrels. That's what I remember about Donkey Kong. You're at the bottom of the screen and Gorilla is throwing barrels down at you. It's on like Donkey Kong. I remember hearing that too. It's on like Donkey Kong. I guess I'll finish my eggnog. gives me a lot of what I need for strong bones, beautiful skin, and a great body. Eggnog. There's nothing like it. Some people spike their eggnog. I wonder if Emma's going to join me today. Emma Nudie Boom. That's a unique name. I like the sound of that. That's how you get the party started. Just say Nudie Boom. It's kind of like Beetlejuice, but happier. Nudie Boom. It sounds like should be sounds like something from Nickelodeon. Now I know what taps are. I drew a blank yesterday, but I played taps during the, yes, yesterday was Veterans Day. Yesterday was Veterans Day, and for Veterans Day, Palamo asked me to play taps, and I forgot what taps were. And then I remembered towards the end of the show, taps is a tune you play for the deceased. What's up, David? How's it going? Oi, como va? That's how they say it. Oi, como va? That means, hey, how's it going? Oi, como va? I think that's a good way to greet people. Oi, como va? I'm doing fine. I'm indoors. It's a bit chilly outside. The weather outside is not yet frightful, but inside is still delightful. I like making myself laugh. Mike Tyson, you know what? They say he hasn't lost his edge. I think he's in his 60s now. KM, message retracted. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Yes, they called him Iron Mike back in the day. He was the king of knockouts. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see thoughts on haunted houses. You know what? I heard from a reliable source that houses that have reports of supernatural activity usually have a gas leak, usually have something going on in there that releases chemicals, I guess, that cause hallucinations. But I'm not using that as a debunk, I guess. It's just interesting. Yeah, an old house would probably have some leaks, gas leaks and things like that. But there are those who have had actual haunted houses, you know, like the Amityville Horror, The Conjuring. Didn't Tyson? Yes, he did. It was Holyfield. I think it was Evander Holyfield, if I remember right. Yeah, he bit that guy's ear off. That's pretty harsh. But he's back in the boxing. He's back doing it. They say he's holding up, you know. So I guess you can bet on Tyson again. He did. He bet that thing right off. But hey, he's pretty popular. He does podcasts, I think. He's had Michael Francese on his show. I think it was the other way around. I think Michael Francese does podcasts. I know he's been on a lot of shows. He was talking about his time when he was living the life, as he said. I guess he's a repentant. Did Mike Tyson box George Foreman? George Foreman. I don't think he did. I know Muhammad Ali boxed George Foreman, but not. Yeah, I don't recall him boxing George Foreman. I think it was before his time, probably. Tyson chicken, yeah. I usually get Tyson's chicken, the drumsticks. I like to shake and bake. I like to shake and bake those Tyson drumsticks. They are delicious. They come 5 in a pack, which is kind of sad. So you have one left over. So you have to buy 2 packs in order to get an even number. That's what bothers me about even odd numbers. Odd numbers, there's always one left over. I guess it's one for your cat. You can't feed a drumstick to a dog. Dogs will choke on the bones, or they get the bones lodged in their throat. And so yeah, give a drumstick to your cat. I think your cat will like it. Or maybe scrape the bone off, or scrape the meat off the bone and then give it to your dog. There was a guy I knew. His dog got a hold of a chicken bone, and he had to go to the vet after that. Thoughts on? I think there's a lot of Rocky movies. I think a lot of them are inspirational. The first Rocky movie was a low-budget movie. Everything was filmed as it happened. The reactions of the people. Sylvester Stallone was just running through the streets, and they were filming him as he went along. Terminator was filmed like that also. It was a low-budget movie. They broke into that guy's car to get it. I guess, yeah, they called it guerrilla filming. Which Disney film, Ed, was the saddest? I guess Bambi? Bambi, because Bambi lost his mom she was hunted. What was another one? Dumbo? Dumbo was kind of sad. But you know what? It had a happy ending. I think in the Dumbo movie, or the first cartoon, he was reunited with his mother. I think it's been so long. I think the happiest one was Snow White. Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho. It's Dumbo cause I know he was bullied just because he has big ears. I like those crows. When I see an elephant fly. Man, you're making me search my memory. It was a long, long ago. Now it's all those Pixar. Disney is all into Pixar now. And live action. They're kind of recycling all their older movies. Those cartoons that came out. Just because he had big ears. And you know what? Happy New Year. Remember that cartoon? Or it was a stop motion. It was about New Year's. It was Rudolph. They made fun of Baby New Year because he had big ears. Dumbo 2. I don't think there was. I think there was just a remake. I don't even remember a Dumbo 2. I do remember the remake, though. They remade Aladdin. They remade Little Mermaid. Don't remake them. Hello, Eli. Welcome to Eddie's Funhouse. I hope we're having fun. Maybe I'll play some harmonica the best I can. I don't claim to be a great harmonica player. I gotta listen to some blues. I seem like I want to play blues. Old Yeller. Yeah, we were talking about that on another live. He had to shoot, they had to shoot Old Yeller because he got rabies. I'm trying to remember if it was a raccoon. We discussed that before. Something bit Old Yeller who had, no, he got into a fight with some wolves. That's another thing that we need to do some, I want to build I want to have a theater where we can play all those old movies. Wouldn't that be awesome? Call it Eddie's Movie Theater. And I could have all those movies ready to go. Then I could just play like Old Yeller or Dumbo or Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It seems different on the big screen. Also, The Wizard of Oz. All the movies I grew up with. I think that would generate some revenue. Have my own. Yeah, he was in. So he was bitten by a rabid wolf, and they had to put him in a cage. That's what I remember. That was and I think Kurt Russell was in that movie when he was a little boy. Old Yeller. I love you? No, I love you. I like this. This is a mental challenge when people ask me questions, and I answer to the best of my ability. I think we all need to be mentally challenged. There's so many people who forego mental challenges. I was thinking about insanity, the definition of insanity. At least Einstein's definition of insanity was um, when you do the same thing and expect a different result. A lot of us are doing that, don't you agree? We're doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Wasn't Jungle Book Walt's last film? Oh, wow. Walter Elias Disney. I think he died in the 60s. That's also something I need to brush up on. My Disney history. They say he haunts that firehouse. There's a firehouse that I think is in Walt Disney World. One of the maids were in there cleaning up, and she went to turn the light off, and she heard Walt Disney say, "Turn the light on," or "Leave the light on," because he used to watch from that firehouse. Above the firehouse, there was like an apartment there. But that's what I remember about him dying. I know he had his Imagineers. That's who he called. That's what he called his group of people who made the animatronics, who set up Disneyland. I heard it was a nightmare when it first started. In Dumbo, who played the mouse? Oh my God, I don't remember. I do remember the mouse. I remember when I was young, I was on that ride, the Dumbo ride, and all I can remember was seeing that mouse. He had a whip, like he was encouraging all the Dumbos to fly. That was back in the 70s, because I was born in 1968, which was the last century. This is a whole new century. I just saw your mother. Okay. She looks, that's what a lot of people say. Your mother looks like you. I'm giving out my birth date. I shouldn't do that. It's so easy to steal identity nowadays. I should have a napkin. I should buy this more often. I get my money's worth. Did Walt Disney take Mickey and the Beanstalk from the story? I guess, yes. Mickey and the Beanstalk. Mickey was involved. That was his first. I think that was his first cartoon, Steamboat Willie. Walt Disney did Steamboat Willie, and Mickey Mouse was featured, and I think Pluto was featured in there also. A lot of those older cartoons were pretty mind-boggling. They're pretty fascinating to watch, like Betty Boop and Felix the Cat. I missed the bus today. No one's coming to pick me up. I missed... Oh my! You missed the bus? How did you miss the bus? I love you too, Grandma Daisy. I love you too, Grandma Daisy. Thoughts on Lambert? The sheepish lion. That I don't know about. Lambert the sheepish lion. It's all in the name. Lamb, sheep. I set my alarms, but they never woke me up. I guess you're a deep sleeper. I've seen some interesting alarms. There's some that throw you out of your bed. I guess some people just really are. I've forgot to put AM, and that's why my alarm didn't go off. That causes a lot of anxiety. When your alarm doesn't go off, or when you're stuck in traffic. Have you ever heard of Red Bed Redemption 2? No, I don't think I have. Did Walt ever meet Jim Henson? You know what? He started to gain momentum in 1969. I think his first was Saturday Night Live. On Saturday Night Live, if you ever watched the really old episodes, Jim Henson would do the puppets on there. So I think he probably died around that time. So I don't think he did meet Jim Henson. But Jim Henson was involved in a lot of movies. I think The Dark Crystal, maybe. I know definitely Labyrinth. And I think he did some Star Wars work, too. He did some work in Star Wars. There were puppets involved. Yeah, 1993. If you listen to Jim Henson talk, he sounds just like Kermit the Frog. I guess he's just using his normal voice for Kermit the Frog. Have you heard of the movie called... Yes, I have. That came out in the 90s, The Mask. There's Ryan. Welcome, Ryan. I've been a few weeks since... Yes, it has been a few weeks. I guess it's all part of the game. Try to find time to make some lives. I'm kind of struggling with Patreon. I want to get my Patreon up and running because I'm going to work on some merchandise. I'm starting a new job. Oh, cool. Thoughts on the rides? Oh, I remember going on Space Mountain. It was my first visit. I think it was like 10 years old, maybe 9 or 10 years old. And I got on the Space Mountain ride, and it scared me. I was not expecting to be tossed about in the dark. And then I tried to sound courageous and say, let's go again. But yeah, I think that was one of my scariest rides was Space Mountain. And then the haunted house was kind of neat, though. I liked how they made the dancing ghosts. Or they had dancing ghosts. They had the hitchhikers. The his, there's some ghost stories um, revolving around Disneyland. I forget which ride. It's the train. There's a train that says they claim you can pass your kidney stones. A lot of people pass kidney stones. I forget the name of that ride. It was a train, and you get on this train, and people pass their kidney stones while riding that train. I guess it's not coming to me right now. What? Oh, did Walt with the idea of Space Mountain? He probably did. A lot of the ideas he just got with his Imagineers and came up with like 2,000 Leagues Under the Sea. When I went, it was 2,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Now I think it's Finding Nemo. But I thought it was pretty fun. Getting into that submarine and looking out the window. And I guess you follow a storyline. Being attacked by the giant squid. But yes. And then there was the Matterhorn. I got on the Matterhorn. It was like a Yeti or something like that. As you're going through the Matterhorn. I heard that too. I think it was The Simpsons. They kind of made a joke about that. Hello there, Nico. Let's see. Do you remember a cartoon called Three Little Kittens? You know, back when I was a kid, it was probably a book. I remember the book I would always take down was Where the Wild Things Are. Every time every time I went to the library, I would take down Where the Wild Things Are. Have I practiced acting? I don't know. I guess I need motivation. I think I need people with me in the room, giving me pointers. People were saying that I would make a good actor. That's what Johnny Depp said. He says I'm a really good faker. I guess I never got the concept of acting. Because people are saying I have a wild hair. And Walt had these kittens come into the studio. I remember that. He would do some live action. When I was young, they had the Wonderful World of Disney, and it was on Sunday nights, and sometimes they would have features like that. Imagine you're in your penthouse with $1 million in the bank. You know what? That's very good to do. I was following Neville Goddard for a while, and they say he says when you imagine things, it affects your reality. If you can imagine very well yourself in a scenario and make it very real and very vivid, then you'll start to see it in your reality. Yes, I'm in a penthouse. Or in my case, a cottage somewhere. A nice cottage. Away from civilization. Yeah, manifestation. That goes back to the Hermetic principles. The first one is the all is mind, the universe is mental. And it stresses on keeping your mind clear of everything that's not desirable. Because a lot of times I find myself doing that. Pondering or dwelling on negative things. And then it starts to show up in my reality. Like I'm trying to think positive about how I start making my money. Because I want to do what I like to do. They say if you do what you like to do, you never work a day in your life. Because all my life I've been doing things that I have to do. Try explaining in Italian accent. Oh, wow, the Italian accent. You know what? I don't spend a lot of time around here in Georgia. I know in New York you probably see a lot of Italians. That's the only place I can think of where there's Italians, where there are Italians. And sometimes they overemphasize the Italian accent, you know, because they think of Luigi, they think of Pepe, or, you know, these, because in movies, a lot of times it's stereotyping. They don't have people with actual accents. They have people faking an accent. Pinch your fingers and hold it and speak. Do I do it with my right hand? Because most people are right-handed. And I don't have, see, look, I have to pull back the camera. You know, that's a stereotype too, I think. I think not a lot of Italians do that. They do that when they get expressive, maybe. And then I hear that, you know, or the, mwah! I don't know if that's Italian or French. Maybe that's just a European. Thoughts on Mario? Some people dress up like him for Halloween. Mario. Mario Luigi. I see some of that. And sometimes Zelda. I've always wanted to set up a camera at my brother's house when we have a Halloween gathering, and a lot of people out there um, show up to get candy. It's mostly the kids and their parents, and they're all dressed up in their costumes. And some of them are pretty good costumes. I see a lot of dinosaurs. I see ostrich riders, and maybe that's what I can do before I start acting. Spend some time around. If I want to play in Italian, I need to really learn their culture, learn things they say. How did Walt Disney come up with the idea for the wolf and Three Little Pigs? I think a lot of that was the, first of all, you picture what it would look like as a cartoon, because as cartoonists would sometimes go out in nature, and that's what would inspire them. They would look at actual animals, and then drawing a cartoon, some of them are pretty accurate, like in Bambi, but then when you watch Pinocchio had creatures who were human. They were part human. Have you made the video? I have not yet. I'm just hearing a lot of deaths lately, and I'm trying to cope with that. I'm trying to figure out, you know, a good way to cope with, because some of those people like Edgar, he was somebody who came to the show, and Diznotz, his father, would come to the show from time to time, and it's like I'm losing family members. I'm losing people who to death. And one of my first donors, you know, first people to donate, he had passed away. So I don't think I handled death very well. Thoughts on the cartoon, The Raccoons? I haven't heard about that. It used to be I would always be able to keep up on movies and shows, but TV has changed a lot. You have to have Hulu, Pluto, YouTube, and it changes how you get your information, because it's not always mainstream anymore. Because when I was growing up, you watched television, and you would watch maybe 5 or 6 channels, and then cable came in. You know, cable increased how many channels you got. I think Bruce Springsteen had a song called 57 Channels and Nothing On. 57 channels and nothing on. And again, it's like they try to get you to... It used to be all you did was plug the TV into the wall and adjust your antenna. TV paid for itself by their sponsors. You know, you'd watch a TV show and sponsors would pay those TV shows to exist. But now, I think what ruined that was cable. You know, cable, people pay for cable, and now there's no real motivation to come up with good content. Ed, who made Alvin and the Chipmunks? Thoughts on the Illuminati? You know, they say it doesn't exist anymore, but I do think there are a lot of groups of people who control what we know, like the mainstream media, all these other kinds of media, and I think, like, I hear about the Bohemian Grove, and I hear about Skull and Bones, and all these. There's supposed to be secret societies, but they've existed for so long. And I think a lot of what we get, a lot of what we hear about is mind control. And I think what we need to work on is controlling our own minds and not let them be controlled. Because if you look over history, if you were famous, how would you spend your money? I think, first of all, my dental work. I would get all my dental work out of the way. And I would like to find people who need the money. You know, like, if they have trouble with their home, you know, some people are struggling just to stay in a home. You know, like, I'd help family, of course. But I always like that idea of making money come out of nowhere. So, like, if somebody needed their car worked on, and it's the only car they have to get back and forth to work and to go out and get groceries, I would say, okay, how much does it cost to repair your car? Because I believe in repairing cars. You know, make that car work for as long as it can. Thoughts on the Roadrunner beep beep? I guess he always has that cocky smile, the Roadrunner. He kind of looks like an ostrich more than a Roadrunner. Because if you look at an actual Roadrunner, it looks a lot different. So yeah, it's just, he doesn't seem like a very smart bird. He's just got a really long neck and a small yellow beak. And he's always eating seeds. All the coyote has to do is put down some seeds. But his traps always seem to backfire on him. What they should have is a different Roadrunner each time, you know? Let the coyote win once in a while. I would love to meet you. I would love to meet you too. I always like having people who continue to come to the show. But yeah, that beep 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 beep. What Roadrunner makes that noise? Roadrunners are usually quiet. Whenever I've seen a Roadrunner in a video or something like that, they don't make any noise. They just run really fast. Thoughts on the Mexican mouse in the wood? Oh yeah, Speedy Gonzales. There was two of them. There was Speedy Gonzales, and then there was his brother, the slowest mouse. But the slowest mouse had a pistol, un pistola, and he would use that pistol because he didn't have to speed up. But yeah, Speedy Gonzales always said "Orale, andale, ipa ipa." I'm not even sure that's Spanish. Some of ole I think is like something they use in a bullfight. Ole, ole, ole. Andale means to hurry up, I'm pretty sure. Because I remember one of my... Trump. They say things are already... Those things are already correcting themselves. Or things are being corrected, they say. A lot of people want to stop having wars. But that's only what I heard in one short that I was looking at. A lot of people are freaking out because Trump has become president. President-elect. I think we need to get used to saying that. President-elect. Would you ever do Kamala? I probably would. You know, at $5 million, that'd be an easy $5 million. I don't think she has any STDs. You know, she looks like she takes care of herself. Sure, why not? $5 million. After taxes? After taxes. Always. I say that. That's very important. When you wish for money, always add on there, after taxes. I want $5 million after taxes. She was a great wrestler. This is fun, these questions. I like that. I like questions and jokes. Yesterday we were sharing jokes. I've always wanted to share jokes on an adult show because those are pretty funny. Because I have that kind of sense of humor. I have that kind of humor when it comes to the awkward and strange. I'm into... No, Kamala got me... What was that? Oh, so that was 8 like let's go. Elaborate on that. 8 like let's go. I'm glad we're having these conversations. You know, we're talking about Walt Disney. Oh, hey, it's working now. I hit the wrong button. There we go. So I have to hit this to make it come. Oh, no. I hate my phone. Autocorrect. I know, it makes it harder. Thoughts on the Frog Prince. The Frog Prince. Wasn't that a New Orleans setting? The Frog Prince? What? That was a Disney cartoon where the frog becomes a prince. They say some of that was based on Papa Legba, who is a real Loa in the voodoo culture, or the voodoo religion. 8 likes. Oh yeah. How about that? I wasn't even paying attention to that. What Cupid's favorite band? I don't understand that. Cup bids? Kiss. I remember hearing a Kiss song a couple of days ago. I was made for loving you, baby. Were you? You were made for loving me. I can't get enough of you, baby. Can you get enough of me? There was a show based on Gene Simmons. It was kind of like the Osbournes, but with Gene Simmons' family. That was interesting to watch. If you want to peek inside that kind of life, do you really envy? Thoughts on Gene Simmons? I heard he's a really nice person. He talks a lot. And I guess that's what Paul Stanley was saying. Paul Stanley is a Kiss member, or a member of the band. And that's what I heard about him. What he's known for is his tongue. And he was in a few movies. There was a movie called Runaway that he was in back in the 80s. Would you do Trump? Only top for $100,000 for Michelle Obama down. I don't know. Where are these questions coming from? It shows where are our minds going today? We should save these for my adult show. I think what I should do is if it's nighttime, I'll do an adult show. That way we can get as raunchy as we want to. Because we never know who's going to join during the family shows. I'm one in a melon. Melons. I guess this is turning into an adult show. There aren't any kids. Gene Simmons, his character was Demon. He was, because when I was growing up, they were pretty popular. This is not an adult show. My dad, my bad. That's okay. That's all right. I guess when you have to click through, that's how you can know. Because I noticed that it says some of this subject matter is not for everybody, or not for younger viewers, or something like that. Yeah, we need to make an appointment. We need to find out when is a good time to do an adult show. We got to do some adult shows. See, this is what I mean. People, when I'm doing a family show, that's when they suddenly want to become they want to do Red Bull. I used to always drink Red Bull when I would go to clubs because I was driving myself to the club. And whenever I went clubbing, it was either a non-alcoholic beer or a Red Bull. And some people like those Red Bulls. They say Red Bull gives you wings. That's their slogan. Have you ever watched Bollywood? Yes, I have. They're quite entertaining. Yeah, they're very celebratory, those Bollywood. They're very colorful. I wonder if anybody, they probably dance along with them when they're watching a Bollywood. Do you know? Shaka Khan, yeah, I think she was in Conan the Destroyer. If you ever watched Shaka Khan, I think that's her name, Shaka Khan. She was in another movie with, it was a, try to remember, it was a 007 movie. James Bond, Shaka Khan. Oh no, I'm confusing that with Grace Jones. Okay, Grace Jones was the one in Conan the Destroyer. Shaka Khan, there was a song about Shaka Khan. No. Shaka Khan. Oh, the Indian. Okay, no, then I'm not familiar with Shaka Khan. Because there was a song called Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan. It was in the 80s, or somewhere around there. It shows you how in the know I am. I'm in the N-O, not the K-N-O. In the no. Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan. I'll have to probably do a Google. Watch Cat No Na Ho. It's this movie. You will cry for sure. So it's called Kaiho Naho. Kaiho Naho. I remember Slumdog Millionaire. You ever remember that? Slumdog Millionaire. I think it was based in India. That was a pretty sad movie. It got a lot of press. Thoughts on DuckTales? Launchpad McQuack? Scrooge McDuck? I was kind of like Scrooge McDuck. He was very rich. Launchpad McQuack. DuckTales. That came on around the same time as Silver Spoons. Silver Spoons together. Silver Spoons. Ricky Schroeder's dad was a toy maker. I guess became a billionaire or a millionaire. Watch it. Kaiho Haho You will love it. Promise me you will watch it. Kai, I don't know. Is it on Netflix or how will I watch Kaiho? Kaiho Naho. How will I watch that movie? Because I don't have a lot of money lately. Oh, Netflix. I don't have Netflix. What I could probably do is ask my brother if he'll let me watch it on Netflix. I can't promise you. I could probably look into it, but because I don't have Netflix. We have just basic cable pretty much. And I'll probably have to maybe look into the DVD. Ed, last question. Thoughts on recycling? You know what? It's a dream I would like to come true, but they say plastic. It's a scam, recycling plastic. They're not doing that. One thing I wish they would research more is converting plastic into diesel. I've seen a few videos where these alternative people, I guess we'd call them hippies, they were they learned how to take plastic and recycle or convert it into diesel. And I thought, wow, what a way to get rid of all the plastic. And there are some people, I think in Canada, they make bricks. They make these interlocking bricks out of plastic, and you can make homes. I guess any way to get plastic out of the ocean and out of the landfills, because everything biodegrades except plastic, it seems. Or it either, they found that these worms, there's worms that eat plastic. I remember seeing a video about that. It's like, well, we could breed those worms. It would be nice if some whiz kid who really is up on chemistry found a way to change the composition of plastic to make it biodegrade or make it into something useful. Sure, I can understand. See ya. Okay, going to the shower. All right. I had an adult question, but leave it. You know what? We got to do that more often. We got to find out what time zones everybody's in. Here's what I can do. Make a short, giving everyone a heads up of when I'm going to do an adult show. Because right now I'm going to go to the park probably. And when it starts getting around 8 o'clock or so, because I think everyone's come home from work around 8 o'clock, then we can go wild. I like that idea. I'm not the only one who likes that idea. That way we can get raunchy and weird. You're in California, okay. Yeah, you were saying that. Sacramento, somewhere around there. So give me some ideas. When can we all meet for an adult show? Or maybe in the mornings I can do an adult show. That way all the kids are in school. That way all the kids are in school. It's genius. Or what is it now? It is, so maybe 12 o'clock? 12 o'clock, that would be a good time to have an adult show. Since we're all talking right now. How does that sound? How does that sound? Do a nice adult show around 12 o'clock. Tomorrow. Tomorrow I got nothing going on. Great. We'll do that. Yeah. Tell your friends. We're going to do an adult show. Then you can check out my adult link. I have an adult link that's for adults. If that sounds too redundant, I'm sorry. All right, everybody. We'll conclude this as an hour show. It was nice talking to you all. Once I get my Patreon set up and running, we'll be able to do business. You gotta change location. We are bored by this background. I know, I don't have much to work with. I'll have to look into that. Don't get bored. I think that's what it is, my background. will divert attention to me. You'll be able to pay attention to me and not my background. But I see that. I've got to find out, first of all, how to raise money. I'm trying all these different ways to raise money. This is a low budget show. Sit in open. That's what I want to do. You know what? 12 o'clock, it'll be light out. It won't be dark. There's company background. Yeah, Three's company background. Or I could do like Tom Green, just have a guy sipping on a coffee cup. Like Phil Giroux, have somebody have like a picture of the moon. I think that's Conan O'Brien. He has like a picture of the moon in the background. But again, right now, please bear with me. I don't have much to work with. So I'll have to see what I can do. I'm going to be getting my Patreon up and running so people can sponsor me on Patreon, and then maybe I'll be able to rent a studio. I don't know. The sky's the limit when you got money. That's what I want. All right, everybody. Nice talking to you. We'll do this again. We'll have an adult show. I think that's what I could do. I can alternate. One day adult, one day family. So maybe Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I can do the adult show. Does that sound good? So if you see me on a Monday, it's an adult show. If you see me on a Wednesday, it's an adult show. And then Friday, right before we kick off the weekend, we can have a good adult show. All right. This is the beginning. This is the beginning of Eddie's Funhouse. We'll go from low budget to high dollar. All right. I will see you high dollar. I like that. I love you too. Have a good night. Or maybe if I decide to do another live today, it will be an adult show. Okay.